Anhydrous ammonia is classified under the National Electrical Code, or NEC, as Class 1, Group 2 or Class 1 Group D, which is the same classification as gasoline. This means that the explosion characteristics of anhydrous ammonia are similar to those of gasoline, and therefore, the same safety precautions and electrical installation standards apply. Table 514.3 Bone in the NEC provides guidelines for classifying areas around gasoline dispensing systems. The question is whether this table can be used for an anhydrous ammonia dispensing area, specifically outside the immediate dispensing area. The answer is yes. Because anhydrous ammonia has a similar classification to gasoline, the guidelines outlined in Table 514.3 Bone can be applied to determine the extent of the classified hazardous location around an anhydrous ammonia dispensing system. This table specifies distances and zones around the dispensing equipment where flammable vapors may be present under normal operating conditions, and therefore require special electrical equipment and wiring methods to prevent ignition. Now let's delve into the specifics of Class 1, Group 2 and Class 1, Group D classifications to understand why this is the case. Class 1 locations are those where flammable gases or vapors are, or may be, present in the air in quantities sufficient to produce explosive or ignitable mixtures. This can occur under normal operating conditions, during frequent repair or maintenance operations, or due to equipment failure. Within Class 1, the gases and vapors are further subdivided into groups based on their specific characteristics. Group A includes atmospheres containing acetylene. Group B includes atmospheres containing hydrogen, or gases or vapors of equivalent hazard such as manufactured gas. Group C includes atmospheres containing ethyl ether, ethylene, or cyclopropane. Group D includes atmospheres containing gasoline, hexane, naphtha, benzene, butane, propane, alcohol, acetone, lacquer solvent vapors, or natural gas. Anhydrous ammonia, although not explicitly listed in Group D, is considered to have similar explosion characteristics and thus is often classified as Group 2 or Group D for electrical installation purposes. Table 514.3 Bone is used to determine the boundaries of these classified locations around gasoline dispensing equipment. It specifies different zones based on the likelihood of flammable vapors being present. Zone 0 is an area where a flammable atmosphere is continuously present or present for long periods. Zone 1 is an area where a flammable atmosphere is likely to exist under normal operating conditions. Zone 2 is an area where a flammable atmosphere is not likely to exist under normal operating conditions. Applying Table 514.3 Bone to an anhydrous ammonia dispensing area means using the same distances and zone classifications as for gasoline dispensing. For example, the area within the dispenser enclosure is typically considered Zone 1. The area extending a certain distance horizontally from the dispenser is also classified as Zone 2, and the area extending upwards from the dispenser may also be classified as Zone 2. It's important to carefully consult Table 514.3 Bone and any applicable notes to determine the exact dimensions of these classified locations. Outside of these classified locations, normal electrical equipment and wiring methods can be used. However, within the classified locations, all electrical equipment must be rated for use in Class 1, Group 2 or Group D hazardous locations. This means that the equipment must be designed to prevent ignition of the flammable vapors, either by containing any sparks or explosions within the enclosure, or by limiting the surface temperature of the equipment to below the ignition temperature of the vapors. Wiring methods within the classified locations must also be appropriate for hazardous locations. This typically involves the use of rigid metal conduit or intermediate metal conduit with threaded fittings and explosion-proof boxes and fittings. The goal is to create a continuous, gas-tight wiring system that will prevent flammable vapors from entering the conduit and reaching a source of ignition. It is also important to consider the specific properties of anhydrous ammonia when applying Table 514.3 Bone. Anhydrous ammonia is a toxic and corrosive gas, and exposure can cause serious health effects. Therefore, it is important to take appropriate safety precautions when working around anhydrous ammonia dispensing systems. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, such as respirators and gloves, and following proper handling procedures. In addition to the electrical installation requirements, there may also be other regulatory requirements that apply to anhydrous ammonia dispensing systems. These requirements may vary depending on the location and the specific application. It is important to consult with local authorities and regulatory agencies to ensure that the system meets all applicable requirements. In summary, Table 514.3 bone can be used for an anhydrous ammonia dispensing area because anhydrous ammonia is classified similarly to gasoline under the NEC. This means that the same guidelines for classifying areas around gasoline dispensing systems can be applied to anhydrous ammonia dispensing systems. However, it is important to carefully consult Table 514.3 bone and any applicable notes to determine the exact dimensions of the classified locations, and to ensure that all electrical equipment and wiring methods are appropriate for Class 1, Group 2 or Group D hazardous locations. It is also important to take appropriate safety precautions when working around anhydrous ammonia dispensing systems, and to comply with all applicable regulatory requirements. By following these guidelines, it is possible to safely and effectively install electrical equipment in and around anhydrous ammonia dispensing systems.